You right now, Ellie was applying major pressure to get Caitlin Clark to come on to New York, and I think that'd be a great destination for y'all. I've been saying it, bruh. Caitlin Clark need to get the hell out of Indy, bruh. It ain't working. It ain't working.
The New York Liberty aren't just admiring Caitlin Clark from a distance. They are making moves. At All-Star Weekend, their mascot wasn't roaming the sidelines or hyping the crowd. No, it was seated right next to the league's brightest star. Not during a break. Not in passing. Right there, front and center. It was a bold message, one that didn't need words to shake the walls of every arena in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark to the New York Liberty? Confirmed? You guys? For real? Circulating went viral of Caitlin Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu.
This wasn't some casual photo op. It was intentional. It was strategic. And it came right after Caitlin Clark had a private meeting with several New York Liberty players. A meeting where she looked completely at ease, maybe even right at home.
Safe to say that the Liberty are currently running the full court press to try to get Caitlin Clark at some stage in her career. Do I think they'll get Caitlin Clark next year? No. Do I think it'll be the year after? No. Do I think at some stage
That mascot moment, it followed something far more telling. Deep in the tunnels of Barclays Center, Caitlin Clark was spotted alongside Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello, flanked by superstars Breanna, Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. But this wasn't just another post-game chat. What set it apart? Clark's agent, Erin Kane, was there too. And when agents show up, it's never just small talk. This wasn't about handshakes or hellos. This was about what comes next. This was about life after Indiana.
My own, it don't get better. No.
Mascots, yes. The New York Liberty mascot, Ellie, was applying major pressure to Caitlin yesterday. I mean, she just could not stop messing with Caitlin. And I mean, it got so bad, Aaliyah Boston sitting next to Caitlin like this. Like all the people ain't just watching you just sit here and be all up in Ellie's face. I love this. I think Caitlin Clark was just showing love, but I'm telling you right now, Ellie was applying major pressure to get Caitlin Clark to come on to New York, and I think that'd be a great destination.
The timing of New York's pitch couldn't have been more perfect. Clark had just watched her team get steamrolled 98-77. And she wasn't even on the court. It was her third soft tissue injury of the season, and every time she fights her way back, she's thrown into a system that refuses to elevate her strengths. She's carrying the weight, but the blueprint around her is broken.
Imagine getting on national TV, being paid by ESPN, paid by CBS, and have the nerve to look at the viewing public, lie to them, and say the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. I'm curious, are those same people going to be on TV this evening, tomorrow morning? Are they going to look in the camera and double down on the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin?
Meanwhile, she's watching the Liberty move like a true championship franchise, organized, intentional, and built around stars who are actually valued. It's the kind of structure, the kind of respect for elite talent that Clark's been craving in Indiana but hasn't come close to finding.
By the way, Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks. But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is.
If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button, because now we're getting into the part where the real panic sets in. Stephanie White's tactics. Clark returned from injury only to be shifted out of the point guard role. Instead, White handed the keys to Aari McDonald. Just let that sink in for a moment. You've got the most electrifying playmaker in the league. a player who shatters viewership records every time she touches the ball, and you're taking the ball out of her hands to give it to someone else. That's not strategy. That's sabotage.
It's supposed to be built upon Caitlin Clark's strengths. It's that simple. It's that simple. What's wild is you had the easiest gig in the business. This was the easiest gig in the business. All you had to do was show up. Yo, what offense was y'all running last year? Y'all was scoring like 104, 108, sometimes in the 90s. Whoa. Okay, run your offense, but y'all listen to me on this defensive end. I'll let y'all do what y'all want on Caitlin. The offense is yours. I'm going to handle this defensive side of the ball. We're going to get better over here. You had the easiest gig in the business. You went and blew it. You went and just made the job 10 times harder than what.
This isn't coaching. It's sabotage dressed up as strategy. Stephanie White claims she wants 2 ball handlers on the floor. But let's be honest. What she's really doing is undercutting Clark's influence before the defense even gets a say. And the numbers back it up. When Clark is running the offense, everything clicks. Ball movement, scoring, rhythm. The Fever look like a team. But when she's pushed off the ball, the offense stalls, the flow dies, and Clark looks like a shadow of the generational talent she is.
We started really well. I thought we were competitive. I thought we played with energy in the first 5 minutes. And then, when they kind of went on their first run, it kind of deflated us a little bit, which I'm not really sure why. But the offense, I think, for us, it starts on defense. And we struggled, scouting report wise, we struggled personnel, we struggled to do what the coaches asked of us. And then, overall, we just played with more energy and effort. And, those are the.
Clark averaged 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game as a rookie, a historic debut. But under Stephanie White's rigid system this season, her numbers have plummeted. She's shooting just 36.7% from the field and a dismal 27.9% from 3. That's not natural regression. That's what happens when a superstar is shackled by a coaching philosophy that clearly doesn't know how to unlock her game. And this is where that tunnel meeting with the New York Liberty takes on a whole new weight. Clark didn't just glimpse a better organization. She saw a franchise that knows how to build around elite talent. The Liberty don't force Sabrina Ionescu into a one-size-fits-all system. They shape their system around what makes her special. They don't shift Breanna Stewart out of position to make room for role players. They amplify her strengths and cover her weaknesses. Sandy Brondello has already publicly praised Clark. Can you imagine Stephanie White doing that without immediately pivoting to praise 3 other players in the same breath? The contrast in organizational philosophy isn't subtle, it's blinding. The Liberty treat their stars like stars. Indiana treats the biggest name in the league like she should be thankful just to exist within their system.
One thing I like about the New York Liberty, they got a little run and gun in their offense. When I watched them the other day against the Aces, and Sandy does a wonderful job making that ball go. And it's fast paced. They shoot threes. They allow Sabrina be Sabrina. She can shoot her threes. They're a very well-balanced team. They got a little inside, but they also got some outside too. And I can see why they won the championship. And I just hope that when Caitlin Clark feels and sees that, she goes, that's a good idea.
The viewership numbers say it all. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's main event. When she returned from injury to face the Liberty, the game drew 2.2 million viewers, peaking at 2.8 million. It became ESPN's 3rd most watched WNBA game ever aired on ABC. And when she's not on the court, Fever games dropped by 40% in viewership. League-wide, attendance averaged 9,870 fans per game in 2024, but Clark's appearances routinely packed 15,000-seat arenas. And here's the kicker. She won't be in Indiana forever. Her rookie contract runs through 2027, but 2028 marks the beginning of her free agency. That meeting with the Liberty, it wasn't about making headlines now. It was about planting seeds for what comes next. New York is quietly building the ideal landing spot for her eventual arrival. So let's break down what New York offers that Indiana doesn't first: organizational competence. The Liberty know how to build around stars. They have a proven track record of constructing championship-level rosters and an actual vision for how to maximize elite talent. Financially, they are better positioned too, with $154,969 in cap space compared to Indiana's $111,931. But the real advantage, New York already has the kind of high-level supporting cast Clark has never had. Players who complement her game, coaches who understand her impact, and a system designed to win.
Last year was the first year in its 25, 30-year existence that it was profitable. Made $1 million. But it was the first time that it didn't lose money because the NBA supplements. When Caitlin Clark comes to town, you have to go from the 8,000 seat WNBA arena to the 30,000 seat whatever arena across town, because of ticket sales and all of the apparel and all of this stuff that's coming from Caitlin Clark. And you're just like, okay, but the league is totally destroying her. They're trying to destroy her.
Imagine Caitlin Clark running pick and rolls with Breanna Stewart. Picture her drawing double teams, then kicking it out to a wide open Sabrina Ionescu for 3. Visualize what happens when teams try to pressure her full court, and Jonquil Jones is waiting at the rim to erase mistakes. The Liberty don't just have star power. They have the right kind of talent to unlock Clark's full brilliance. And beyond personnel, New York offers something Indiana simply can't: a winning culture. The Liberty are fresh off their first championship in franchise history, proving they know how to close the deal. Meanwhile, Clark is stuck in a system that's still running experiments, like giving Ari McDonald the point guard role and pushing Clark off the ball. She's forced to play out of position, take on unnecessary physical punishment, and endure a coaching staff that seems unwilling to adjust. The cost? It's already showing. Clark has missed 10 games this season with 3 different muscle injuries. For context, in 4 years of college and her entire rookie season combined, she didn't miss a single game due to injury. This isn't just mismanagement, it's a red flag for her future.